Alright, we now have all of the eggs. I put 15 eggs. As you see, there are 3 left in this dozen and a half pack, and I'm mixing the batter. I've turned the pan onto a medium heat. It's a little high. If the pan gets too hot, I move the pan off of the burner or off of the direct heat. And you want to try to get all of the egg mixed into the batter, which takes just a few minutes. These eggs have been warmed, and so we have in this batch 15 eggs. When you're finished with the whole wheat flour, you'll have a light to medium brown batter. The yellow of the eggs will disappear. You can see some little examples of egg that got a little bit too warm in our microwave. It's not a big thing. So you have this syrupy, honey-like batter. It's a good idea to stir the batter periodically until you're ready to do your first pancake. I did not scrape all of the butter off, left a little bit of a film. The first pancake is kind of your test pancake. I like to keep the pan close to the bowl, and then I make a dipper full of batter with the size of the spoon. You may vary that. And then I usually rotate the pancake just a little. We have quite a bit of butter on this top of this pan. If you just watch this first pancake, you'll see the crepe or the Norwegian pancake first starts to get white around the edge. Ideally it takes about 20 to 30 seconds, maybe 40 seconds, to cook each pancake on one side. The ideal pancake is smooth and round and flat and of relatively consistent thickness throughout. In this case, the pan is a little bit overly oily. Now, while this is cooking or in preparation, you see the pancake is now cooked on the bottom largely, and it's bubbling, which means the pan may be a little bit warmer than we want it, but you want that to happen. I've gotten 2 glass plates. These are glass dinner plates. I like to use glass or Corelle because it maintains the heat, and I like to serve the pancakes warm, but it takes time to cook them. To turn the pancake, you need to make sure that the pancake turner has a little lubrication from the grease, and then you flip the pancake over. And in this case, we don't really have any brown, so I'm not sure. Maybe the pan is not quite hot enough. Put these eggs back in the refrigerator, and the cream. And so you see the oil from the butter is hot enough to be bubbling, and it is a hot pan. And this first pancake is your test pancake. If it's the right amount of sugar, you'll have some browning, as you see the flip side, and then you take that pancake and put it over here in the plate, and as soon as you can conveniently do so, you put the second pancake in, and this pan is just about the right heat. You hear the bubbling of the liquid part of the batter, and now it's cooking. Now, this first pancake I usually just test by rolling it. That's how we serve these. Actually, we serve them flat and allow those who eat them to taste them, or to eat them. The first pancake you taste to see if it's sweet enough. Here you can see the layer. It's about the right thickness, a quarter of an inch or so, and it tastes okay. That's a cook's prerogative. Might want to add a little bit more sugar. I think I like a little more sugar in this. A little more sugar will make the batter brown more, and I don't consider this an exact science, so I just fold a little more sugar into the batter. It's usually the flour that makes the lumps, the sugar will find enough liquid from the egg and the cream. If you put too much cream in, the batter will lose its honey-like consistency. And this is probably a few seconds longer than I like, but I do like a little bit of brown on the first side. The second side of the pancake takes considerably less time to cook because it's largely cooked. While I'm cooking, I'm eating the rest of the sample or the first cake. And I flip it over, check the color, put that down, and then starting with the second pancake, I put the other plate on top to preserve the heat. I always stir the batter in between pancakes. This is because the egg has a tendency to float, and your last few pancakes will not have as much egg if you haven't stirred as you went during the process. So you continue spending about a minute or a minute and a half with each pancake. Occasionally there's a buildup of pancake batter and oil. You can just rinse off or use a paper towel and dry off the pancake turner. This shows how the pancake's turning, and this is just about the right heat, so approximately 30 to 45 seconds to cook the first side. Here you see the pancake turning more white. The areas where the batter is still wet are darker. That's characteristic. So with the whole wheat flour, you have fiber. There is a lot of egg, there is a lot of butter, and there is sugar in these pancakes. This may be a little too hot, so we turn our heat down just a little bit. You can tell because of the smoke coming off. Well, we're coming down the home stretch with our pancakes. A couple of techniques. It's a good idea to get the pancake loose, which is one of the reasons you need to keep the pancake turner fairly clear. And it's a technique that you'll develop skill with over time. Don't worry if the pancake doesn't fully turn over, and once in a while they'll tear. That's usually symptomatic of either failure to stir the batter or not enough egg to keep the consistency right. It doesn't take long to cook the second side of the pancake. It's a good idea to stir the pancake, and I don't like having drips of the batter, so I try to have the pan right under the edge. When this pancake is done, we put it in the stack. We've developed a stack. We've got about 25 pancakes so far. And then I occasionally turn it upside down so that the oldest pancakes are in the middle. A couple of tips about batter. As you come down to the last little bit of batter, you don't get quite a full spoonful, and so I've been using 2 spoonfuls. And then I try to take the pan up, rotate it a little so that the batter is a near circle to cook like that.